Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to go over some general book design options that you have and do a quick tour of the tools that you have in the design preview. Here we've got our Headerus Typeset project, and we've already uploaded a Microsoft Word manuscript and we've reviewed the styles, so now we're ready to start designing. There are two ways to open the design preview. You can either click this design button at the top right, or you can jump to a specific chapter by choosing it from this little mini table of contents on your project dashboard. I'm going to go ahead and jump straight to chapter 1. Now, the first thing you see here on the design preview are these general book design options here in the left sidebar. There's just a handful of options here that affect your entire book. The first, of course, is your book trim size. You can set the page width and height, and you can use any value here, including decimal values, and choose any of the units here. I'm going to go with 5 inches by 8 inches. I'm going to just save. And I'm going to click the Run Layout button. The Run Layout button is going to be your best friend throughout the design process. And you want to click it anytime you make any changes that will affect how the text fits on the page. So, of course, because we changed the trim size, that's definitely going to change how much text can fit on each page. So we want to rebuild all of our pages. And that's what the Run Layout button does. You'll typically want to click it anytime you change font sizes or line heights or margin values, anything that changes how the text fits on the page. So now you can see we've got our new trim size and our pages with all the text fitting just right. The other options that you have are to set a general body font for your entire book, a font size, and a line height. These are a great way to set your font settings in one fell swoop and have them apply to your entire book. And then you can go ahead and override those font settings on a paragraph by paragraph level instead of having to set the font for every single type of paragraph in your entire book. You can choose from any of the fonts here. And if you've uploaded custom fonts, then you'll see those in this font list as well. Let's go ahead and choose Adobe Garamond. And you can see that our typeface updated itself. You can also set your font size. I'm going to leave this at 11 points for now. And you can change your general line height. You can either use the tiny little up and down buttons or you can type a value here. I'm going to increase my line height to 16 points. And you can see that our line height increased as I clicked those up buttons. Now, again, because I changed how much text can fit on each page, I need to run my layout. And first I'm going to save. And now I'm going to click Run Layout. And you can see that our pages are now adjusted to fit the text at the new line height. The other thing the line height does here is it controls the height of your baseline grid. If you look over here in the top right corner, you can see the grid button. Let's go ahead and turn that on. Your baseline grid is a way for you to make sure that all of your text is aligning in the same way on each page. It's a tool that book designers use to make sure that they have what's called balanced pages, which means that the text lines up on both the recto and verso pages. And if you scroll through here, you can see that your text is fitting in the baseline grid in the same way on each page, meaning that it does indeed balance, which is what we want. You have a few other options here in the top right. You can turn on your guides, and these show you where your page areas are. Each page is actually split up into a few different content areas. You have your main text area here in the middle, and then you have all these different little margin areas. And these are where your running headers and running footers go. And you can see here you have the space reserved for your running header, and down here you have the space reserved for your running footer. We'll go over running headers and running footers in a later video. Let's toggle our guides back off. And the other option you have here is a toggle between single page view and spread view. Right now, Headers Typeset is still in beta, and this single page view versus spread view toggle is actually one of the things that we're working on fixing. If you turn it on, you can see that you do indeed get a two-page view instead of just single page view. But the problem here is that our first page of our chapter should actually start on a recto page. But our toggle isn't smart enough to know that right now, so that's one of the things we're working on. I typically leave my pages in single page view because that spread view isn't quite working right. And those are your general book design options and a quick overview of the tools that you have here in the top right. You can also navigate to a different section with this little mini table of contents drop down.